Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, Nathan. Welcome back from the trip. And I'm hoping Andre can make it today.
Welcome to your after call survey. Thank you for taking the time to complete.
Hoping Andre can make it because we were kind of revolving around his time. Let me just announce class. Okay, so I'm assuming some people will hop in as time goes on. So let's start with any questions you guys might have. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, yeah. Who is it? Eric is teaching a class right now. It's 1 p.m. in Australia time. Okay, Terrence. Yeah, we're starting off with questions. Terrence, do you have any questions? Otherwise, we're gonna do some workshopping.
No, we can start the workshopping. I'll have questions after.
Okay, sounds good to me. So, let's start off with. Okay, there's Tom. Tom, do you have any questions?
No, not right now.
Okay, we're gonna workshop. Starting with we're gonna start off with let me tell. Oh. We are going to start off with Vincent. We're gonna start with Vincent. I have Vincent here. And then let's go on to Terrence next, and then Tom. So Vincent, Terrence, and then Tom.
One quick question. It's not really related to like music theory or anything.
Yeah.
Just I want to be more prepared than I was last time. For week 15, should I be kind of revising through everything or mainly past the halfway point?
Mainly you should have spent a week 8 revising all your first
Yeah.
pieces. So, but you'll put your focus on the latest drafts you did, the second half of the program.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be polishing those up when we meet. Okay, so let's start off with Vincent's track. So I'm liking okay, so real project right here. We got this over here. I'm gonna pull this up. I want to continue. No, I do not want to. Yes, I do. Okay, so this is Vincent's week 15 composition as someone who started off with zero experience in music, and you're putting out a pretty ambitious track for your final. And so what we're working on is partly also structural development, turning initial first minutes and trying to turn that into a 2-minute track, which is again very ambitious for Vincent, but he's been building towards that. So I want to listen to this from the top. And all right, so right here. I'll make sure I'm sharing sound as well. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's listen. one thing that I want to point out here, there's some clashing of notes here. So you see the half step here, right? I think it's the F rubbing the E.
Yeah.
The E's rubbing, or the F sharp. One of these things are rubbing with each other, so you got to fix one of these notes here. But otherwise, I'm good. We're good so far. Okay, cool. So the focus, what immediately comes to mind is I think you need to fill up the space in the middle section here. So it's a sudden drop here in energy
Yeah,
level.
that was my main thing. Is
Yeah.
that, and I'm not sure how to transition
Mm-hmm.
into and out of, because it feels very distant from one another.
Transition. Which part is the transition? Like transitioning back?
As in that piece that's like purple, I try to have it be kind of similar to before it all starts, where it's very like break from the noise into coming back into that kind of feeling.
Right. So
But
you're
then
trying.
I feel like I'm lacking in that.
Right. So you're trying to have a weaker section here to have a dip in energy level. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, let's see. Okay, so play around with what if you just need something doing some stuff here. Like I'm curious, what if you brought back the electronic keyboard here and did fill it with so this isn't a brain. I think you probably could. You still. So don't drop the bass for sure. You do need the bass to support. So write out your bass line here. You could potentially drop the brass or just cut it out or work with some slower rhythms here. And then maybe you could switch over to the electronic piano here potentially. Um, so what did you do in the guitars here? Where is that measure? Measure 43. Oops.
But would the main thing be like, would it be right to say that it's mainly dropping mood, not like instruments? Like be
But
calmer on those instruments, but don't drop them.
yeah. So you can make it less in well, there's ways of like lowering intensity, right? You could the most extreme is to just drop the instrument, or you could work with be a little bit spare about it. So you're having a um, well, you can make it the rhythm a little bit less dense. So maybe they could have longer sustained notes, da da da, something like that. And you could also play around with the density of layers because you have a octave and a perfect fifth, right? So that's going to be pretty full sound. So you could strip that down to just maybe, so cut out some layers, maybe upper two. So I would play around with that, but you should keep the bass because that's the support. So we do need that.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any more questions, Vincent?
Um, not really, other than the fact that now that I'm finally kind of done technically, let me know a time that works for you and I'll start working on the other revisions.
Okay, good, good. And then one more thing I'm thinking about as well is the return of your initial idea. So this is kind of so I'm thinking of it like this, right? So you have this really cool intro and setup, then you have a sort of theme A, and then you have a theme B. This is kind of your transition, right? And you bring back theme A. I'm thinking that you could do something a little bit slightly different here if you're,
Hmm.
especially when we're thinking about how this is going to be looped, right? I'm assuming. So, like, um, it would be nice to have something a little bit different here too, if possible.
Okay.
Like you could write a whole new C section or just um, vary this or something. Because then we're going to repeat right back to the intro and then back to the same thing, right? So it's going to, um,
Okay, yeah, true.
yeah, yeah. So, because otherwise, like, why don't we just loop right over here, right? So if we're going to consider this part of the composition, I'm thinking, um,
Variety.
yeah, yeah. So I think you can play around with this section, see if you can do something a little bit new.
Okay, cool.
Make sense?
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
good, good, good.
Um,
Hmm.
I appreciate the help, but I have to kind of go for work
Sure.
tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, it's 11 your time for sure. Okay,
Okay, thank
okay.
you so much.
Let's see you, Vincent. All right, next in line, who is it? Let me try to remember. Who was it? I think it was Terrence.
Oh man, let's go.
All right. It's gonna be Terrence. Where is Terrence? Terrence, where's Terrence? I'm trying to find your track. Wait, I did give you feedback, right? Wait, this is July 31st. So 31. I gave you some thoughts on the first. Did you send me something new after that?
I'm not getting
Hmm.
the work.
Yeah, what'd you say, Terrence?
I'm still working on it. I thought you
Oh, okay, okay.
did you ever send that back with the revisions you made?
Yeah, on Discord. So on Saturday. D- Yeah, did you send anything? Did you send me anything new after that?
No. Oh damn, I didn't even notice this.
Yeah, yeah. So I sent you some stuff on Saturday.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so work on that a little bit more, and we can talk about that later. Um, let's hop onto Tom's track for a sec. Let's see.
It's becoming kind of unwieldy. I'm just kind of like tacking on like new ideas after another, and I'm
Okay.
not sure if it's like
Let's see where we're at. Okay. Let me see where this is at.
what
Okay, so right over here. Let me see what's going on here.
that's the wrong sound.
Oh, that's
I think
okay for
it,
our purposes. For our purposes right now, well, I just want to see what you're doing.
yeah, that's that.
You know what's interesting? I think it actually works. I know you're just going with a uh, sort of just add on a new section approach and kind of just extending it that way. Um, I think it works. I mean, just we'll play this from the beginning. And I key change. Okay, and then repeat of the A. And modulation. Okay, and then here's our B section. I think you just need to spend a little bit more time in this section. Uh, Probably, if you want to avoid. Let me think about the balance here. And I also want to pit this against your MP3. So since you said it's a different track, let me see here.
Hmm.
Okay, well, your goal right now, Tom, is just to make sure that it loops well. Just make
Yeah.
sure. I think the ideas do they section by section. I think they flow well. Well, with I guess my only thought is like from the A section going to the B section, the transition there. Maybe you could write something else that's in between too that might potentially work. But before we worry about that, I think let me just look at yours. How are you? If we were to end here, right? Let me just make sure. But we want to just to plan our our loop.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to be too ambitious. I want this to be, done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I
is a
know.
bigger theme. Let's look at this. So I'm wondering if you did something good. Bump, 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 bump. Maybe some syncopation potentially. Maybe not. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 bump. Maybe a little bit funkier here. Okay, so let's just figure where you are here. What chord is this? Okay, so it's an F sus. And then what's your bass? Okay, so don't drop the bass. Did you drop the bass?
At the last, I was going to maybe add some bass in that last section.
Okay.
And
yeah, don't drop the bass. Well, you did that. What if you went a descending pattern?
Oh yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That kind of worked.
But
Right?
it's like, yeah. But the next chord is like a F minor seventh, and it's just like really jarring right now to like go from.
Right, right. So yeah, so what is the initial chord? Let's see. Uh, so yeah, it's an F minor 7.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And so going from how did we?
I like modulated like down like a half, like a
Uh-huh.
like I don't like, or like I guess I just changed. I went to the relative major. Is that what I did?
Yeah,
I
you
can't.
were adventurous. Yeah, yeah. So the thing, yes, be adventurous with your modulations. Just know how to go back, right? So
Yeah,
these are. So let's
and
see.
I feel like stranded. Like I don't know how.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I can just like extend it, maybe that last part, like just like find some progression that like works and like brings it back to the home key. But
Yeah, D. I think that kind of works. Going to D. If you let's see, put this with. You might have to modify. Um, you might have to modify the melody a little bit. Where's
well,
that?
because like the C section I'm in, I kind of just like hanging out on that one
Mm-hmm.
chord for a bit, and
Mm-hmm.
um then like maybe do the descending thing or just find some changes that will like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going back to that F minor seventh feels like a lot more like natural,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe like I get up to like I guess the dominant of that, like a C. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
while we're at it too, let's anyone have some feedback for Tom? And hi, Catherine. Good to see you. So I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna point. Uh, Nate, what do you think?
I really like that last section. Yeah, just the C section basically. I think it's got a great melody. Um, I think it kind of changes like the first couple sections. It's like very wiggly and there's a lot of arpeggiations and stuff. So it's cool to like. I feel like it really kind of reins it in for that last section there. And it sounds like very kind of cool and focused. Um, yeah.
Cool, cool. And one any suggestions too, if you have any.
I think I would just keep building on the kind of stemming of the wiggly parts for the first section, and maybe if it's an A B C situation, like maybe for the A and B to yeah, like make the rhythms like maybe a bit more definitive, like they are in that last section. That's just my impression, but um, I don't know. That's what I would do, I guess, if I were in that situation.
Cool.
okay, cool.
Let's see. I don't know if Catherine can talk. Maybe she's in driving or something. It's Indonesia time for Catherine. Okay, I'll listen to it one last time. Sorry, I had to interrupt. I was just sort of thinking before I forgot. What if you sort of maybe you could write an extra four measures here if you wanted to stay a little bit here. Bum, bada, bum, 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 and sort of repeat something or a new idea. Sort of bum, bum. Bum, bum. Right, and then da 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 da. Right, da 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 da, and then sort of kind of harken back a little bit to this thing, but go somewhere else. So this would be you make this maybe a 12 bar melody instead of maybe 16 bar melody, like a 12 bar B section, and then finally for the final C section, which is going to be this, right? And then so this is sort of almost like a coda, right? Why? Because it's the tone kind of changes here. It's to me, it's happier here. It's a little more slightly cheerful, festive ending. So a little bit. And did you change keys too? I can't tell. Another thing too, I think your chords are going lower, so we've got to you should shift them a little bit higher, I think, because your melodies are going high, but your chords are going down. So at the very least, you got to be careful about that a little bit. At least don't go down more. Keep them the same area. Okay, and also I think you should end on some sort of held note, probably. Bum 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 bum, and then so sort of close the phrase, and then we can loop, right? Because here this suggests a continuation to something else if you fill in the last two beats here, right? So you could just do something like. And then I'm gonna add a little lower neighbor note ornament here. What's going on the other thing? Why am I hearing some other stuff? Oh yeah, that's because this, right? Bum, 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 bum. So then that feels like it feels more a little bit sort of like the closing of this phrase, and then boom, back to the loop point, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think?
Yeah, I like that descending part you did at the end, but I still kind of
It needs
like I would probably like do that like maybe like in another like hold off on that for like another like couple measures, I think.
okay.
'Cause I kind of like the like I liked how when I was doing it how the chord stays the same, but like then like that little melody kind of
You could
that gives it has like a little different color to it, you know, but but also yeah, the descending part works. I would just want to maybe change up the melody then a little bit.
Yeah, I think you would have to adapt it a little bit. Always check your chords to see if it's gonna fit. So I would say that this track, for groove theme, I wasn't expecting anything too long, but I think you got pretty ambitious, and I think you pulled it off. So I would say tops probably minute 20 seconds, not a whole lot longer than that. Maximum 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If you wanted to kind of repeat some of this stuff, you wanted to extend it. a couple 4 or 8 measures or something. Make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Um, not really. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how to use that other view with the like the
Oh, yeah.
like
The the one the view that Paul has demonstrated to everyone, right?
yeah, the one with like the paintbrush, like, and you just like, because when it gets so much larger, like like when you can't like work in like just the regular channel view because you have all these different sections.
Uh-oh, can you repeat your question?
Like when you switch between the two, like what is it? The pattern view and song view.
Oh,
Yeah.
or the playlist and
Yeah,
song.
the playlist. Yeah.
Wait, let me just save this for a second, just for you. Save as. And then oh, playlist and piano. The channel. Well, there's the channel rack. There's the piano roll, and then there's the playlist. So you're saying that you're trying to understand the playlist view. Is that it?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
'cause
So the way this works with the playlist would be you would think in like chunks. So right now you have everything laid out in the one pattern you have. But let's say you wanted to just write the intro section and you made that your pattern one. You could literally rename this by right clicking here and then clicking on rename and then saying intro or something like that, right? Intro. And then you would put the intro, you would lay it on one of these tracks. And then this would be a long intro. And then you could also cut some of this stuff too. If you, let's say, for right here for demonstration purposes, and I would just cut it to a 4-bar intro. And so you have the actual intro here. And now you can work on a second pattern, which we're going to call new A section. And then we're going to write some stuff here. Right. Right, and so now we can add that. Now you would add this here. Let me see. You would add it here, but you would click on select source pattern and click on new A section. And then so you would build it that way, and then you could add section by section. Some people like to kind of separate, even within chunks, right? Some people like to just write a drum part here or a bass line here or just a rhythm section or something, and then so that can be duplicated amongst multiple sections. So that's kind of up to you. The benefit of dividing it up this way is that every time you want to insert something, like kind of like if we wanted to try out, let's say, what if we extended this B section or wanted to put something in between the A section and the B section and we didn't know what to do, right? So now we don't have to manually copy and paste and select everything over every time we're working with the larger building blocks, right? So that's the benefit of that, though there's always the workaround it with the knife tool that we just used, right? We could always cut sections as well to work with the larger structural building blocks. Does that make sense, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any more questions?
Not right now, no.
Okay. Well, Nate, so you were working. Have you started on the riff exercises yet?
I haven't done After Effects. Well, I've done, I guess, a couple of them. There's was the Memories of Dream of Shore. I started working on my own thing for a little while.
Okay.
So I feel like I made pretty good progress on that. We could look at the riffs
Yeah,
and
let's.
go in. I can just drop it in what week would that be again? Like week 5 or 6 or something.
Oh, you're right. The where was it? Oh, someone sent me something. Um,
Can just
let's,
drop kind of whatever I have in there.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was able to
drop it.
get some work done, at least like a few nights, and then
Yeah,
mostly on my iPad. But I was able to tweak some things today and over the weekend and on my
mhm.
usual DAW. So
Yeah, it'll be probably week 4. You can drop in week 4. So for the
oh
riff
yeah,
stuff,
sure. Let
and
me.
then
I got it on 5 right now, so let me move back there. I'll just put the MP3 there.
mhm.
Uh, I know we took a look at it right before I left.
uh,
And it's like similar with the music, but I try to add like a third section, and then I
mhm,
tried to add some more momentum to it as well, like
mhm,
do some percussion and that
mhm.
kind of thing. But we can just take a quick look at it, and
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I think there's a few areas where it could use some work for sure.
Okay, okay. Let's listen. Okay, right here. I'll pull this up. Okay, let's listen. Make the drums a little bit louder. Beautiful. Da, 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 da. So that's a chromatic run that I'm gonna take a little bit look at. I don't. Da, 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 da. It's crunchy. Chromatic. I'm wondering here, like, what if we played around with the riff and either modified it or added, doubled it or something? Some a little bit variation here would be kind of cool too, because it marks a different sort of phase in the track.
I think I remember you saying that too, actually, to like do something different with the riff.
Did I
Because
say
I think
that?
I just, yeah, you said it before I left, and I like didn't change the riff at all. I just kept the same.
Well, yeah, let's see. Yeah, an energetic part. Even if you don't change the riff, maybe something else. I'll think about it. I'll look at your file. Also, at this point, I know it is a kind of repetition of it's a sort of very repetition of everything we heard in the first part. But I almost feel like you could start the same in this new section, new phase here, but then kind of take us somewhere a little bit different harmonically here. Yeah. Because the track's kind of evolving too, right? Like density wise, texture wise, I think there's an opportunity to take us somewhere a little bit elsewhere harmonically too, like a little bit down, some new place.
Yeah, the C section is about to come at the end of this
Okay.
repeat here, but I do agree with you. It's like starting to feel kind of static. So I don't know if
Yeah,
there's a better way to like lead to the next
yeah,
section or
yeah. You could. I mean, you can always go to take us to a new section, but sort of take us there through a new path, right? Slightly new path.
yeah.
Another thought too I had is, have you considered playing with different melody instruments too? That's a individual choice here, but that could be something too. Um, Either in
Yeah,
whatever section or this moment
the
here
rest of
too.
the track is just repeating
Okay.
the same textures basically too. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a really great suggestion actually is to just
Mm-hmm.
kind of see like what different sounds could come out or um
Mm-hmm.
like different ways to spruce up the arrangement basically.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
feel like maybe it was just because I was like working with kind of limited elements or whatever on the road, but um yeah, no, that sounds really good.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the part where it loops, right? Okay. There it
Yeah,
is.
pretty much.
Okay, okay. Let's listen to it, and I'll shut up. Let's listen to it from the beginning to the point. Let's so that we can have like a collective and holistic listen. Okay, and take notes, guys. I'm gonna you got to type something for Nate. So and I'll pick on you. So prepare to type something down. Okay, so let's listen. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, I had maybe just like one or two thoughts. So, well, first off, I think one thing that I really enjoyed about this track is the tone you created from the start. Again, it's just a riff tune, but like you landed on a unique tone, a unique vibe. I'm picking up something that's slightly magical but mysterious, uncertain. It's not fully happy, it's not fully sad, it's something in between. Um, and then, so I think one thing you could also lean on too is the emotional journey that your dance trajectory that you're architecting for the listener. Um, some of this might just sort of like be, you're just ideas coming out. You could bring some, we're like, okay, that part, I feel like I'm adding strings. I want that to be even more motivational. So maybe you can do things that can really lean onto that. And then the C section, that's like, what was it? Was it happiness? Yeah, that's beautiful right here. It's sort of like edging on happiness, but also a little bit of sadness too. So we're not fully getting that right. To me, it reminds me of pop writing too, at some level. So think about pop songs too. Like each section has its own vibe, right? Its own emotional core. Um, so you could lean on to that too as well. So be intentional about the emotion you're conveying, the emotional trajectory that you're planning for the listener. Um, and then texturally, I'm wondering if some little twinkles, little dashes of twinkles in the A or B section, maybe little bells could add some cool colors. Something you would do sparingly. Um, right, I wrote lean on motivation here in the B section. Chromatic parts of the melody. The first time I listened to it, I was questioning, okay, that do we want that because of how you know mellow the color is for the riff, but then you reused it, so like, okay, that was intentional. Okay, so explain to me a little bit too, your thinking behind the chromatic parts. I'm not gonna say it's right or wrong, it's up to the composer's choice, but I just wanted to know any intention behind that.
Probably, I probably was just going for kind of maybe that whimsy or mysterious kind of thing.
Okay.
I think I started working on this right after I was watching the announcements about the competition. It was a bunch of like sci-fi type music, and so
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of where my mind went, sort of like kind of like the pensive, like kind of corny documentary music you hear sometimes, or like like those TV shows where there's a narrator and like they're like talking about exploring different planets or
Yeah.
like planet Earth or something. I don't know. That's kind of where my mind was at. Like,
Oh god, that's so funny.
um,
The TV shows.
so well, and then so I've heard that kind of music in those
Hmm.
contexts, and I think I just kind of
Oh.
went with that to kind of buffer it up that way or something. I don't know. That's
Okay,
just
I
where my
see.
mind went.
That's good. That's good. As long as, okay, as long as you can articulate yourself. I do a
The
lot of.
C section too is like a total. I wouldn't say it was like I'm not like Hans Zimmer. No, it's not the way I would go with it. But like that's like I can't. I'm trying to think of the progression that I use, where there's kind of like the mix between the parallel, like switching between modes to minor and major, and it kind of makes it a little bit. Um, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like setting the emotional tone of it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You get to plan that for us. And then the last thing I think I want to point out is in the C section, um, the repetition of the motif. That's an interesting choice. I know you're a motivic guy. That was the first thing you mentioned early on. Um, my impulse, would be in something like the C section to create something wholly new because you're bringing us a new emotional picture, right? So the fact that you're so if also the idea of a contrasting section too, right? I'm all about that. Um, um, so So that is something I want you to consider. Again, I'm gonna challenge you everything you do. Every little note, every little thing, for you to be super. It's like sometimes with compositions, I'm kind of it's sort of like a thesis defense. For like the undergrads. I'm gonna pick at everything. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Right? And so you gotta sort of justify to yourself like why'd you do that, right? For me, so do you want to repeat that motif? Is that because you really wanted to? There's gotta be a reason, right? You really want to take that into a new world, or is it because you just wasn't sure you wanted to create a new idea? So tell us about that. Right. So here's the thing. There's pros and cons. The pro is that you're using a motif. You're taking that idea and taking us through the whole thing, and developing ideas that way. The downside is that it might not be contrasting enough. It could be, well, I'm here. I was kind of expecting something a little bit different in the C section, but now it's the same thing, right? Is it But at the same time, so I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just going to challenge you. Okay, so I need you to know to make that choice. So telling me about the motif.
Yeah, I think in my mind, I just tend to rely on that as a tool where I mean, the case that can be made for it is that if it's something that's repeated, it's
Hmm.
more easy to remember. It kind of like connects the sections in a way, or it can be a certain through line. But yeah, the downside is like, for your listener, is it wearing on your
So
listener? Does
here's the
it get
thing, Nate,
old?
right? That's why I asked. I'm like, are
Yeah.
you using that because you wanted to do it as a through line, or is it because you just didn't know how to make a new idea, right? So,
Oh
right.
yeah, it could totally be a crutch. It could totally be a crutch. It's just like,
Right. So here's
well,
the
I
thing,
can,
right? The thing is, I
yeah, I
think
like
you
to get,
you managed it well
like
enough,
to,
though.
yeah.
It did feel some parts of it did feel fresh. I did like it, but I think a little bit more contrast wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I think.
Sure, it's a tough balance between well, for me I like the it's kind of like you're saying here too. It's like you want to test something, you want to see how much mileage you can get out of it. And
Well, here's the thing.
you know,
I'm not saying don't use motifs, so don't get me wrong. That is super important in melodic development too, and just none other than I'm going to show you VG leads sheets. Just the amount of repetition that Nobuo Matsu, for example.
oh yeah,
I mean,
it's like a total
it's like the whole
it
thing.
happens all the time where it's just completely repetitive, and
Exactly.
it's a balance, right?
It's exactly. So it's like I'm not. Sometimes he's doing something like doing the same thing over and over 10 times in just variations of. Where is it? I can't even find that. Was it Red Wings? No, was it Rydia? Yeah. So it's like da 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 da. Da 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 da, right? So it's very repetitive, and we're going through all the iterations of the same motif, with the variations in harmony and with the variations in where it goes, right? So yeah. So, but your journey is a little bit different. The journey that you're taking us through is a little bit different. So you decide, okay? You decide. Just make it sound good. Whatever you decide on. I'm just gonna challenge everything. I want to call on, let's say, I don't know if Catherine can talk right now. Catherine might be busy. Um, she might be like on a bus ride. I'm assuming not. Um, I think Evan's also busy, uh, in the middle of something too. He can listen only. So I'm just gonna call on. We can get here. Oh, did they say anything? Oh, Catherine, good. Okay, so yeah, yeah. Please, share your thoughts. You could type it out. Okay, or talk. Yes.
Hello.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Um, I do agree with with you in the C section, try something a little bit different. And yeah, I think that's my uh only thought.
Okay, okay,
Sorry, I don't really have a lot of feedback, but
that's
I
fine.
really like the beginning. The beginning, it feels very ambient like, and it feels like we're drifting somewhere in space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Good, that's good feedback. Um, I'm gonna call in Terrence and Tom. Write your response out. Write your feedback, good and
Yeah,
positive
really
and
like.
constructive. Okay, Terrence. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. Like I said, I typed it up earlier. It sounds very drifty. Like it's spacey, very drifty. It almost sounds like the protagonist of our story has finished doing what they need to do. Right? Like they just finished flying, fighting, and saving the day, but they've been left adrift. No one's gonna come get them, and they're just kind of stranded in space. They know they finished their mission. They know they may not make it back, but
Whoa.
they can rest assured knowing everything went right.
Wow. He's making it emotional. He's making an emotional storyline for this day. So
Oh,
steal those
I'm really
ideas.
good at that. I'm really good at that.
Steal those ideas. No, no, wait, yeah. Keep going, Terrence. Keep going. Anything else?
Um, I like the instrumentation too. Again, it sounded very starry. All right, like the main melody was very light, bright.
You know what's funny? I sent him some starry stuff from my last year boot camp student, so that might have inspired him too. It was called Star Life, I think, one of them, or Space and Romance, or one of those. Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
nice. Okay, Tom.
Yeah, it was very relaxing, that main theme, and how it over the chord changes, and when it came back to that, like that like, kind of like the home key, like when you started the chord you started off with, like when it returns, it's like, okay, yeah, we're back here. um I guess, like, sometimes I thought like it would just have to shift, like change it a little bit, like, depending on what underlying chord you're playing. Because I was kind of expecting it to change a little bit here and there. Like the da 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 da. I thought I would repeat at one point, like da 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 da. Instead of like kind of keep ascending. I thought those like first da, da, four notes would like repeat right after another. Um, and then but it was really great when the strings kind of came in and the percussion kind of accelerated a little bit. I think yeah, there's definitely like a lot of uh really great parts. I think like that should be just like kind of kept. I just think overall the structure is still a little like kind of needs to be like take a bit more shape like that, like with like certainty. Um, but overall, like I think it's a great really good mood, really good solid atmosphere and vibe to it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nate, do you have any questions and thoughts on feedback, etc.?
No, thanks everyone for your feedback. Yeah, I'm out here. I was hoping one of the things I could go for is look for some descriptions and titles for it too, because I feel like I have a lot of like just projects that don't have any names on them too, and I sometimes have trouble kind of like putting in the words or putting lyrics on things even too. But so I appreciate y'all um, providing your feedback and those ideas. Thanks everybody.
Excellent, excellent. One thing I also want to tell everybody too is I came with this the other day. Be critical of the critiques. Or what was it? Yeah, I think that was it. Be critical of the critiques. And I think that was the same. So here's the thing. get used to being challenged on all that stuff. But ultimately, it's your work. You're the composer, and you get the final say. And you gotta trust your instinct and your musicality, right? So sometimes some of us, myself included, might suggest things that are just there to like point out the pros and cons and whatnot, or suggest things, or if it doesn't work for you, then ignore it and just throw it away, right? And because we're not the ones also experimenting with some of the things that have the time, or sitting there doing the experimentation, right? So if you try something, yeah, that doesn't really work out, it flows better originally, then keep it, right? So be critical of the critique. I think that's what I said. I felt like I could said it more eloquently last time. uh, yeah, I think that was it. That's probably what I said. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, at the very least, you'll be challenged and you'll be really sure about your decisions. So yeah, any other questions, guys? And also, Catherine, how's your battle theme going?
Yeah, I got so sick last
Oh,
month. I got sick like twice, and right now I'm just healed. Even last week I took a leave because
oh
I was
no.
coughing so bad.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I haven't got the chance to work on the battle theme, but
Okay,
yeah, I will work on it again.
okay. So are you feeling better now? A little bit
Yeah,
better?
I'm feeling way better now.
Okay,
I
good,
can
good, 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 good,
can
good.
finally talk
Oh, that's
without
great.
coughing.
Finally, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So rest up. Make sure you're, um, taking care of yourself. So, yeah, that's always important first, because that otherwise, you don't have yourself, sort of taken care of. Then the music cannot be taken care
Yes,
of.
that's right.
Okay. So, yeah.
Actually,
Hmm.
uh, there is a there's a music that I was working on at for work. It
Okay.
was a draft,
Uh-huh.
but it was not used.
Okay.
So I think I can share it in this for this class.
Yeah, sure, sure. Well, we're running a little bit over today, but
Yeah.
so everybody's, yeah, class is dismissed if you need to hop up with something, but we're just running a little bit over for funsies. Yeah, so if you want to share it get emailed to me or Discord or whatever you want.
Okay, sure. It's quite inspired by Callum Bowen. It's one of the new composers that I find really interesting. I
Hmm.
think I also shared it in the Discord
Okay, yeah,
channel.
yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna share that
Yeah,
draft
yeah. Oh
soon.
my gosh, so give me a second, Ross, Michael.
You just muted your.
Hello?
Give me a second. I'm speaking to Michael in the Discord. He's
Oh,
fine. Yeah, so Michael hopped onto the he hopped onto another link, so I just wanted to make sure that he was situated. Give us a second for him to find his way. Okay, there you go, Michael. Finally. All right. So, Michael, yeah, yeah. So I'll walk you through everything after class if you got time, Michael. We're just walking. I'd like to introduce But by the way, too, so Evan here as well as a new student who just joined over the weekend. He is also in Eastern time zone, and he's in Eastern time zone and is starting today. So is Michael. Michael's just starting today as well. Oh, you have your audio on, Michael? Can you talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, good. Can you introduce yourself to everyone?
Well, my name is Michael Dean. I'm about 65 years old, and I'm trying to find my way into this music business somehow, somewhere, by some crook, nook, or cranny. I'm trying to get into the music business, and I went to Full Sail University, and I got exposed to sound game creating sound for games, and so that's what led me here.
Good. Well, some of us have full-time careers in this right now. Catherine is one of them. So she's in Indonesia, and so she's in a whole different time zone right now. And you'll get to meet a whole bunch of other students as well who are going for the exact same thing that you're going for, Michael. So welcome. And I think Evan is in the middle of something. It's also late for him in Eastern time. So I don't know if Evan can introduce himself. If you can, let us know, Evan. What do you say here? Otherwise, I'll wait like a second. No, Evan say. Wait for Evan. Where's Evan here? Okay, so I'm assuming he can't talk right now. So so we were just workshop. Oh, right here, Evan. Yeah. Okay, so I'm at work, but hello from the warehouse. It's funny. Yes. Evan is so he is finishing up City College, and he's also studying I believe music composition as well, and getting into video game music writing as well. So okay, so let's continue where we left off. So Catherine, you sent us a track. Oh, by the way, so Michael, how these class sessions usually go is we run through any questions you guys have, and then we workshop your work together. So you get to see how other students are approaching their music, and then get feedback from each other, and then. So that's what we're doing right now. So let me see from Catherine. Did you send that to me? Did you send anything to me yet, Catherine?
Hello? Yeah, I haven't sent it to you yet, Eric.
Okay.
So maybe in like this afternoon I will send it to you.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so that's okay, gotcha. So you want us to look at that later, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
later.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me see here. Look at where this music is at here. Okay, so did anybody have any last questions? Okay, so again, I'm willing to go a little bit extra today because Michael came in a little bit late, so I'll give it to me. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably either workshop a little bit of some maybe Kurt's music. Just take a look at that. Well, Kurt's here. Why don't he hop on? I'll ask him to hop on. And then maybe we'll workshop one or two more. Okay, see ya, Catherine. I might workshop one more track, and then we'll take off. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up Kurt's track. Is he hopping on? I can see. Okay, so Kurt's hopping on, and we're gonna workshop his melody right now. So let me pull this up. So for those who don't know, Kurt is more of a, he specializes in retro style writing. So he's very influenced by chiptune writing. So very strong, catchy, iconic melodies. So that's what he's going for. And so he was working, this was actually a track that he wrote within the program. He's graduated now, and he wrote this one of his like later assignments. And so after the boot camp, he is continuing to develop, add on a new section to it. And so we were just refining that, basically, the new section. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to tell him more. Okay, let's listen. Very, very nice, Kurt. I think we have a satisfactory melody. Finally, you guys don't believe how long we were like perfecting this. What Kurt pulled off here is pretty difficult, which is combining elements of your typical, pretty much like hummable, catchy melody, and then incorporating some sort of Vivaldi figuration, so the more, series of mushed notes together, all like just a constant, attack of notes together, alongside just a little bit, what was it? A little bit of rhythmic variation too, in something as high paced as this. So this was like what, like just like I think somewhere around like 13 seconds. Okay, well, yeah, so 30 seconds that we spent like weeks and weeks on this. So I think let's listen to this one more time. Okay, so you solved it. You solved it, Kurt. Last time we were stuck on like going down to E. It was something like that. Something like that. And so he switched it up, and so we're not re-articulating notes, so it's got the variation we need. Then here. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this is pretty much shippable. What do you think, Kurt? What do you think? Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because both Kurt and I are like we're perfectionists. So the trouble with when a perfectionist is working with another perfectionist is that sometimes we just take our time, really taking things to that like level of polish. That's the thing though. You guys get to decide the level of perfection you want. Um, Sometimes some peeps are like, it's good enough. Okay, so I'm like I'm as long as you're happy, I'm gonna be cool with it too, as long as it's reached a certain level of standard. But during the program, like we really just went to the limit. There was like no note, not a single note that was misplaced or anything. That was the level of basically detail we were shooting for. So we spent quite some time with this. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, what did Kurt say? Good. What do you think, Kurt? And then also any just reactions from anybody too. What do you guys think? So let's hear from Nathan too. That's the final melody part. We didn't listen to the opening part because the focus was on the final section. So what did you think, Nathan?
I'd be curious to hear the melody just by itself without the other accompanying parts. I just want
Okay.
to see kind of how it, or maybe that, or maybe like that and the other section maybe proceeding, or I just want to see what the kind of the more like the broader context of it is
Oh, okay,
basically.
so before that, right? You want to hear a little bit before
Yeah,
that?
I'm just kind of this is my first time I've heard any of
Yeah,
it, so
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kind of going in.
We kind of jumped into it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you want me to play the MP3? Is that correct, Kurt? We'll play the whole thing. I think you earned it. I think. Okay, so we'll play the MP3 from the Discord. I think you've earned the full Kurt experience, and that is the July 23rd. Hold on G, right? Is that the right one? Okay, hold on, G. So I'm gonna put that. We were deciding between two notes, guys. G versus A. So we're deciding between the flat seven with the G versus A, which was the one pitch degree number one. So if we settled on A, it would have ended on the tonic, which is the center, the home, right? If we we landed on G, the flat seven, that would been have given us some more room to go somewhere. So it's less like, okay, we finally came home. We landed on something that was less stable. So that's ultimately what I think Kurt picked here, so that we're saving the most stable notes for the end, right? But yeah, we were deliberating over that, spending an inordinate amount of time. Okay, so let's listen to this from the beginning to end. This is the culmination of the boot camp and extra, additional section that Kurt was working on. So let's listen from the top. Also, be prepared to share some feedback too. Okay, and then that's the part where it loops back to the beginning. So, this is advanced stuff. Okay, this is a advanced level writing with the complexity of melodic writing, and especially that section, for example, right? So, Kurt's still working on the mixing and balance, but it'd be cool to hear from, I guess, any, what do you guys think? I don't call him Nate.
Sounds like a lot of genres like kind of packed in there, almost like they got like kind of like F-Zero in there. But I'm trying to think of what else I heard too. But it moves really quickly. Um, but I think the style is like very clear in terms of the melodies that are happening, and yeah, I'm just glad to be able to hear that last part, kind of as a building up of everything else too. And well, having worked with Eric on other melodies as well, and kind of like the way that you try to like choose between different, uh, yeah, like different pathways, I guess you could say, like the way that you choose those, and like how you really want to pick and justify the choices that are made. Like
Yes.
it does sound very uh, like I don't want to say it doesn't sound like it's overly planned or anything. That's not what I'm trying to say, but like it sounds like a lot of work has gone into getting the melody to sound a certain way. Yeah, like it's not being restricted. It does sound like very good. Yeah, so kudos to you.
Oh yeah. uh, Kurt really worked hard in his his chops. One thing that he was trying to uh, basically continue to build was freer melodies too. We're still that's going to be still we're working, especially on improvisatory that melodies, that'll be a thing. But as sort of like an intermediary between that final section there, where we're adding more complexity, more speed, but still making it logical, right? The thing about faster and more improvisatory melodies that go more and more wild, it's not like just throwing notes and all over the place and calling it a day. As composers, every one of those notes still has to be planned and architected in a way that makes sense. The whole thing, improvisatory melodies in this context is actually, if anything, even more planned. It's just as carefully planned as anything. It sounds wild, sounds all over the place. It sounds free, but it's very disciplined, right? So it's every note you put down is very controlled. So that's what Kurt was able to pull off in that news section that he wanted to do, and do it in such a way that it matched the level of polish that he'd been doing all throughout the program. So being able to maintain that level of polish in the freer writing styles was the goal here. So pass. Yeah, pass, Kurt. Pass. Okay, so I'm curious to hear what Michael thinks too. So Michael is new. We want to hear some of your feedback. What do you think?
Well, I'm not a gamer, so I I like the way that it was composed. There's a lot going on in this composition.
Yes. Yes.
There, yeah, there's, yeah, um, it's. I think somebody said that it was phonetic.
Phonetic. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Definitely. I was like, okay. I mean, I like the way that it worked together, but I'm trying to picture the character or characters involved in this game because they got to be iced out, or they at the rate in which that song is playing, they've got to be doing some serious.
Oh.
Yeah. Woo! I mean, You know, Sonic the Hedgehog ain't got nothing on.
Oh yeah, no, Michael, it's so funny. Kurt, that's almost partly part of Kurt's signature sound. I don't know if I mentioned something. I don't know if I said something similar to what you said. I can't remember. But Kurt is pulling from a very a very established genre and tradition of shoot 'em up games and shoot 'em up so it's short of it, yeah, shoot 'em up, so short is shmup, right? So that's the abbreviation shmup, right? So shoot 'em ups. So these are very, fast-paced games, so you got to dodge a whole bunch of bullets. They're just showering, tons of stuff, and you're trying to like make your way through and hit your enemy and your targets while they're bombarding you with bullets that you got to dodge, right? And then so Kurt is pulling from a specific composer named Azun, and so he's an indie game developer, and so he's created all these very intricate games and took it to a whole new level. And so he's a Japanese game developer and composer, and so the term they use for it is bullet hell. Okay, so very intense, intricate. Actually, it's better to show you actually what that looks like in context. It's like I'm like try dodging that. So this is what we're talking about here. So this is what Kurt is pulling from. So we introduced Kurt to that during the program, and ever since then, yeah, his writing just like even took off.
Well, see, I'm not a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I know diddly squat
Mm-hmm.
about gaming and so yeah, I mean, I kind of like it, but I mean, I'm still trying to understand, the concept of the composition
Mm-hmm.
behind
Yeah.
behind the game.
Right. Yeah. So definitely get through the first week content. That'll provide a lot of context on the different styles of music, and we'll get into some
Yeah,
play stuff. Some of
yeah.
us.
I noticed that I mean, the first week is about history
Mhm.
and trying to get me up to speed, but yeah, okay, it's I'm already in a quandary, so after class we'll have to talk about that anyway.
Oh, sure. Okay. So it sounds good. Okay, so we went a little bit over, guys. So it's an hour and a half. So any last questions before we head off, guys?
Mhm.
Okay. Alrighty. So that'll be it, guys. Then. So okay. So I'll see you guys in next class session, and Michael, we can chat a little bit.
Yes.
So all right. See you, everybody.